Picture a cramped office in Seattle, late 1999. Colin Bryar and Bill Carr are hunched over a whiteboard debating how to launch a product that could change how people read books forever. Kindle is just an idea. The tension is thick. How do you build something so new without a playbook? That's the moment where Amazon's magic begins, working backwards from the customer, not the product. But how exactly do you do that? We're about to pull back the curtain on Amazon's secret sauce. Amazon's mantra isn't just a phrase, it's a ruthless obsession that steers every meeting, every email. But what does obsessing over customers really look like day to day? In 2005, during the early days of Amazon Prime, Colin and Bill watched the customer feedback pile up. Everyone wanted faster shipping. That obsession led to investments in warehouses, planes, and algorithms. The goal? Make two-day shipping not a perk, but an expectation that customers barely think about until it's missing. This transformed not just logistics, but Amazon's entire culture around speed and reliability. Amazon's secret weapon is starting projects by writing an internal press release announcing the finished product. Imagine writing about success before any code is written. It forces clarity and puts the customer front and center, like drafting a love letter before the first date. This working backwards method slices through uncertainty and aligns teams instantly. This obsession doesn't just build products, it creates a fanbase that'll wait in line for hours or switch hard-earned loyalty overnight. Bill saw it firsthand with Oz. What started as a quiet service became indispensable because it solved real customer headaches. The payoff? A company that reinvents itself by relentlessly caring about what customers truly want. Amazon's 14 leadership principles aren't corporate fluff, they're the tough playbook that shaped an army of leaders. But what does living these principles look like when stakes are sky high? Early on, when creating Kindle, the team hit massive hurdles: battery life, screen tech, content licensing. Colin recalls Jeff Bezos pushing for invention in the face of near-impossible deadlines. They had to simplify, cut features, scrap complex designs, and invent tech that didn't exist. It wasn't magic, it was brutal discipline paired with audacity. Amazon's leaders regularly dive deep. Bill remembers a heated debate about Oz pricing where Bezos personally examined server costs down to the dollar. This obsession with details means no assumption goes unchecked, like peeling layers off an onion until the heart of the problem is exposed, driving decisions with cold, hard data, not guesswork. Ever heard of disagree and commit? It's when teams hash out fierce debate, but once the decision's made, everyone pivots and commits fully, even if they still have doubts. This radical alignment keeps Amazon agile. Colin saw this during Prime Video's launch. Disagreements about content spending were real, but once decided, the team executed relentlessly, fueling massive growth. Amazon's culture isn't some accident of history, it's designed, codified, and enforced through ritual and method. Here is how Amazon turns values into muscle memory. Forget slick slideshows, Amazon demands detailed, six-page narratives for every major decision. Colin describes how teams spend days crafting these documents that read more like novels than presentations. This forces clarity, debate, and deeply shared understanding, killing foggy ideas before they gain a foothold. At weekly leadership meetings, silence reigns for the first 30 minutes as everyone reads the narrative in full. This ritual slows the room down, forcing attention over speed and preventing groupthink. Bill calls this the sacred pause, a space where critical thinking trumps charisma or persuasion. Metrics at Amazon aren't just about hitting targets, they're about measuring how leaders behave. For example, customer obsession is tracked not by sales alone, but by how leaders engage customers directly. This keeps the culture sharp and growing because what gets measured gets repeated, embedding core values into everyday actions. Back in that Seattle office, the Kindle was just a dream on a whiteboard. But through working backwards, starting with narratives, obsessing over customers, and living leadership principles, Amazon turned dreams into reality again and again. Your move: try writing a press release for a project before doing anything else. It'll force you to think clearly and obsess about what really matters. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.